Hello friends, welcome once again to Rick's Garage. Today I wanted to talk to you about a couple of things that you don't normally see in a home garage, but they're kind of fun to have. First of all, it's a used rim clamp tire machine. I bought this on Craigslist. You can buy these used machines fairly reasonable. This particular machine I paid $800 for. The nice thing about owning a machine like this is you don't have to worry about it paying for itself. You bought it for pennies on the dollar. Have fun with it, use as much as you want, save money with it. When you're done with it, you can sell it for probably what you paid for it or more. Now, it goes without saying that if you own a tire machine, it's also kind of fun to have a wheel balancer. What you see here is my computerized dynamic wheel balancer. It's an earlier generation machine, but it works excellent. Very, very accurate. I've had it checked out. It does dynamic wheel balancing. It has an aluminum mode. It has a truck mode. It's really a nice little machine, and I only paid $450 for it. I thought it would be fun today to demonstrate the use of the tire machine and wheel balancer. As always, I'm accompanied by my companion, Hi-Ho the German Shepherd. This happens to be the vehicle that we're going to be working on today. It's a 2014 Honda CR-V. It's got 48,000 miles and still has the original tires, however they're down to the wear bars. These are the tires that Hi-Ho and I are going to be installing on this car. They're a set of Nokian all-weather radials. This set of 4 tires were delivered to us for under $300. If you were to go to one of the big box tire stores, I'm sure by the time you're out of there you would have spent close to double that. So there is a significant savings to having your own tire machine and wheel balancer. I'm going to go ahead and remove the tires off camera. I'm sure you all know how to do that. Now that the rims have been removed from the car, we're going to go ahead and poke out the center caps with the butt end of a hammer. That's if your car is equipped with center caps. With the center cap removed, we're going to go ahead and take off any wheel weights that are attached to the rim. Make sure you check the back and get those weights off as well. With the center cap out and the wheel weights removed, the last thing we're going to do to prep the tires is to remove the core from the stem. This will release all the air out of the tire. With that done, the tires are now ready for mounting. Before we go further, I want to talk a little bit about the tire machine itself. There are 3 pedals in the front. The right pedal controls the bead breaker. The center pedal clamps the rim. And the left pedal rotates the table. There is an additional pedal on the left side of the machine. This controls the inflator. What you see here is what is commonly referred to as the duck. This is the duck head. This is what I call the beak. And back here is the tail. Now we're ready to separate the tire bead from the rim. Carefully position the tire in between the machine and the bead breaker mechanism. Press the pedal to compress the tire. Rotate the tire and repeat as many times as necessary. Once the front side is done, flip the tire around and repeat the process on the back side. Once you've completed separating the beads from the rim, Before you place the tire up on the table, go ahead and lubricate it. I like to use an ordinary spray bottle with soapy water. Now we're ready to lift the tire up onto the table. Go ahead and depress the center pedal to clamp the rim. Draw out your tire iron. You're going to be using the flat end. Position the duck head up over the rim. Using the beak of the duck head, pry the tire up over the duck head itself. Now go ahead and press the left pedal and the front end of the tire should come off quite easily. Through the magic of video, I decided to jump ahead in time a little bit. I wanted to explain what that recessed area in the rim is for. It's very important. As you can see, as I push up on the tire, the bottom bead slips into that recessed area I just showed you. Notice the tire is nice and loose now. If you do not do this, you run the risk of tearing the bead when you try to get the tire the rest of the way off. This time we're going to use the curved end of the tire iron. Prying against the beak, lift the bead up over the duck head. Once again, step on the left pedal to rotate the table, and the tire should come off very easily. Now that you've got the old tire off, you can go ahead and clean the rim. If you wish, you can go ahead and cut off the stem and replace it at this time. If the rim is equipped with a pressure sensor, there are kits available to refurbish them. Now you can go ahead and lubricate the tire and rim for mounting. As I said before, I just use a spray bottle and soapy water. In positioning the tire for mounting, pay attention to the markings on the sidewall. Some tires are directional. They'll either have a little arrow, or some, like these tires, just simply say inside and outside. It's a little bit difficult at this point to see how I've got the tire in relation to the duck. I've got the leading edge of the tire underneath the duck head, and the back edge of the tire is resting on the tail. As you just saw, the back side of the tire went on quite easily. That won't be the case for the front side. In this view, you can see a little bit easier how I've got the tire aligned with the duck. The front edge is under the duck head, and the back edge is up on the body or the tail. When you start the table rotating for the front side of the tire, only go part way. Remember I showed you that recessed area of the rim? Well, that's important. You've got to press the front bead down into that recessed area, otherwise you run the risk of tearing the tire. I have a pair of special devices called hold downs. You can order them on eBay. That will help ensure that the tire does indeed slip down into that recessed area, thereby reducing the possibility of jamming the machine or tearing the bead. Now we're ready to seat the tire on the rim. If you haven't already done so, remove the core from the stem. This will allow the air to get in faster and aid in seating the tire. Do not exceed 40 pounds when you're attempting to seat the bead of the tire. If you're having problems getting the tire to seat, there's a video on my channel called Bead Blaster that deals with this situation. Now that the tire is properly seated, you can go ahead and reinstall the core. When reinflating the tire, always go by the sticker on the driver's side door. Regardless of what the tire says, you should always go by what it says on the car. With the tire properly inflated, we're now ready for balancing. The first thing we want to do is select a cone that fits the center hole of the rim. Once you've selected an appropriate size cone, slide it onto the machine. Now you can lift the tire up onto the machine, carefully centering it on the cone. Use the big wig nut and adapter to secure the tire to the machine. Once you've got it good and tight, give the tire a little spin by hand just to make sure it's not running out. For this job, we don't need to change the machine settings. By default, it's set for dynamic balancing of an ordinary steel wheel. The first thing we're going to do is measure the distance the rim is out from the machine. This is accomplished by a device built into the machine. When you hear the beep, the data will be automatically registered into the computer. By the way, don't forget to remove the sticker from the tire, as I almost did. Next, we're going to use a special caliper provided with the machine to measure the thickness of the rim. This particular rim happens to be 7 inches wide, and we're going to register that data into the machine by hand. That is the B dimension, by the way. Lastly, we're going to enter the D dimension, which is the diameter of the rim. We know that as 16 inches. Now we're ready to press the start button. The tire will spin, and when it comes to a stop, it'll tell us what we need for weights and where to put them. Here you see we need a 1/2 ounce weight on each side of the tire. We're going to go ahead and rotate the tire and install the weight on the inside at top dead center when the bar lights up. Having installed the weight at top dead center on the inside, now we're going to repeat the procedure on the outside. When the outside bar lights up, we'll put the weight at top dead center. With the weights installed, we're going to press the start button one more time. And this time we're looking for 00 on the screen. And there you have it. This tire is ready to be installed. What you see me doing here is installing a little bit of anti-seize around the hub. I'm also going to torque the lug nuts to specs. If I have a flat tire on a cold, rainy night, I want to be able to get the wheels off and actually be able to get the lug nuts undone. The actual spec on this vehicle is 80 foot-pounds. The last thing I'm gonna do off camera is I'm gonna go around one last time and check the tire pressure in each wheel. Well, friends, in closing, I just want to say that, as you can see, it is indeed fun to have these machines in your home garage if you can get them for the right price. On this one little project alone, we saved about $300. That's all I've got, and I want to thank you for watching once again on Rick's Garage, and we'll see you next time.